Hey, it's MK, and I am here with a Stitches and Stencils layout for you guys today, and I am still following along with Follow a Sketch February, and this is the sketch that Sandy has chosen for us to do today. So I have picked out quite a few things. Hopefully I'll get a little bit added to my layout, but from Dusty Attic, I have this amazing stencil that is DA3625. It'll be coming to the shop here really soon if you guys are interested. I also have these stickers and things that I picked up at a give-take table at a crop that I went to in Reno. And then from one of Janet's retreats, I have this really cool acrylic made by SAR that was made exclusively for one of her retreats. And then from Creative Memories, I have these little sticker sheets about flying. I also have some really cool photos of us on our flight to from Houston to Miami, and then getting and walking to go get our luggage, or we've already got our luggage, one of the two. I have a little tag topper that I cut off. Apparently I used the bottom of it. From Reston Revs, I have these little pieces that when I deconstructed one of the pre-made layouts, I have these pieces left over. I also have a scrap of, I don't know, oh my gosh, I just left it and now I'm 3 pages behind. Also from Reston Revs, I have this piece. And then from 13 Arts, Travel the World, I have this gorgeous piece of paper. My 13 Arts paper is a little hard to get for me, so I use it in spurts. I also am going to use this Creative Memories train paper that I found in my stash, and it has all these little arrows going left and right and up and down and all this stuff, and it just matched the airplane sticker sheet. So I planned on using that for my background. And then I'm going to use this close to my heart off-white cardstock for my mixed media, basically. So I'm just going to try to figure out how big of a piece I needed. I knew that I didn't want a square piece, so it was one of those where I had to guess at how big of a piece that I wanted, and then I wanted it to be at an angle. I didn't really want it to be straight on, and so yeah, I just wanted it to be at a wonky angle. So I'm going to roughly ink up my stencil and try to make it to where I don't hit the edges, but I also get a really good design of this geographical airplane lined stencil. I just thought it was going to be a super cool stencil. So I definitely wanted to make sure that when I use it, that I could have it in my shop. That again, it's coming soon, you guys, I promise. All right, so now that I've got my 2 corners, now is the time that I should tell you that I will be flipping this layout. I think I flipped it 1 time to the left. So that way the element that is over in the bottom right-hand corner is now in the upper left-hand corner, or upper right-hand corner. So I just wanted to make sure that I explained that correctly because of the fact that I really didn't want to have to reuse these scraps, but I didn't want to have to throw them away either. So I'm glad that I was able to find a home for those little elements of scraps. Also too, I'm going to be gutting out the arrow paper that is my base paper because I realized that I was one shy of an element that I needed for all these layers that are behind the photos. And instead of having 4 little photos, I'm just going to have 2 smaller photos. And instead of having my papers go up and down, they're going to go left and right. So pretty much everything else on the layout stays the same. That little piece that is kind of on the left-hand side of the sketch that's coming in from the left side and then overlapping the scallop border on the left side and then into the floral cluster that's there. That piece I did not do. Instead of having a scallop border, I have a ripped border. I'm also going to add my stitching down there as well. And then, of course, I create my layered pieces by using up all of these little scraps. So I'm going to really quickly, and I apologize for being off camera, but I am going to really quickly build up and create all of my scraps, basically just using this little trimmer here. Why do I keep wanting to call it a wood piece? That blue piece, I can't believe I just cut that with scissors. I guesstimated at how long I needed it to be, and I just cut it with scissors, put it on my trimmer, cut it in what I thought was in half, because the two pieces aren't supposed to represent one giant piece. So I thought, oh, that's perfect. I can make that happen. So this little piece right here is going to end up being that little bit that is no longer on the right-hand side, but now is going to be in the upper right-hand side. Because I have all this wood grain that like I said, I did not want this wood grain to not be used. So I'm going to use it up, and then I'm going to cut this tire track element off of my other piece of scrap paper and use it as an element as well. Not that we are in a car, but I thought it was just a cool design, and added a little bit more of that darker element that is kind of peeking out of my layout. So all in all, this is a very pastel-y layout for me, but there are elements of darkness, if that makes any sense. I'm inking the edges of my blue paper so that way they have a little bit of dark as well on them, but I'm not inking all of the edges because you're going to see one whole edge pretty much covered up. So I decided not to ink that edge. I really wanted to use this tag to differentiate the difference between my photo mats and the large piece that I am using for my main cluster, for my main element in my cluster. But it doesn't end up happening. I don't end up finding anything that says that. So at first I thought I was going to gut around my entire piece and have this whole gutted out section to play with. And then I realized I don't need a piece that big. I just need a piece to go like yay big. So I brought in a little bit of my cluster and just created faux outlines, and then I will go through. I'm using my score tool on my trimmer because I took out my blade to replace it, and then I didn't replace it. And I thought, what in the world? Well, I'll just do a score line, and I will push really hard because I already want the edges to be distressed, so it'll be fine. It'll work. So now I'm going to pull out my X-Acto knife and make sure that my score lines went all the way through the paper. So that's basically all I'm doing. I'm not really cutting with my X-Acto knife, just cutting the perforation that my score mark made. You guys, I'm a hot mess. I had no idea where on earth my trimmer blade is. And so I just used what I had. That's all there is. This paper was so thin, it wouldn't have scored anyways. It would have definitely cut anyways. So yes, I am going to just go ahead and distress all the edges. It's what I planned on doing to begin with, so it was okay for me to do that. So here I am just going to go ahead and distress all the edges. And like I said, on this little blue piece, I'm not going to distress all of the edges because only the two ends and the one long edge is going to be seen. I didn't really need to do any of the distressing on the long edges of the wood grain either, but I didn't know where exactly my photos were going to go. And it does look weird if you don't distress in a certain spot. Like if you just stop distressing, you can never make the distress the same again. I'm just saying. So I went ahead and distressed all of the edges anyways. And that is what I'm going to do. I think my photo mats get distressed as well once I'm done building my little cluster here. I really do like all these layers, and I was really happy with the fact that I had enough of these scraps of paper to create all of these layers. It just came together nicely, and I was so excited that I was able to make this happen, because normally when I do this, I don't plan which scraps are going to go, with which. I just don't plan, you guys. I make page kits based off of colors, and the colors all match together. I can do a page kit, right? And then I go look for photos later. But the page kits were already created. They were already set up and guessed by me. And then of course I knew it was going to be a travel layout based off of the this little map print right here and my blue paper that has the ship's wheels on it. All right, so I went off to my my sewing machine and I stitched. I did this really cool viney design. That is one of the reasons why I went and purchased this type of sewing machine, is because it has, I want to say 32-ish designs that I can just push a button and then make the machine go, and it it automatically does this design that I programmed it in. I love that part about my sewing machine, and I very rarely use it. So I was super excited to get it to remember to use it on this layout. So yeah, it was super fun. Just a slight little subtle stitch. I still use stencils. I still use stitching. So it counts. It's there, even though it's not prominent in the layout. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put my title where it suggests me to put my title. If I were to have turned it right one time to the left. This is where it wants me to put my title. I like it. It fits. It feels like it belongs there. But as I start building all the elements for the page, that's when it decides that, or that's when I decide that it doesn't really go there. I can't make it work right there. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and add all of my elements to this page. All of these white pieces are acrylic. They are white on black acrylic pieces. And they're just fabulous. I know Janet loves tiny little things to add to her layout. She just always has said that she gets tired of enamel dots and sequins being the only tiny little things out there. And so I really wanted to try to make these elements as small as possible for her liking, because I know she likes the tiny little things. So when she requested these elements, it was fun making it happen for her, and basically testing the limits of my machine and seeing how far can my machine go. When it comes to this, the best part about it is this acrylic is what they call a rough acrylic. So you can actually take a marker and color in all these pieces. It's not a slick acrylic. And so, yes, you can color all these pieces in and make them match your layout, basically. I liked the fact that they matched my layout already, being the pastel-y that it is. I like how light this layout is, even though I still have my dark elements. I don't usually do layouts that are this pastel-y and lack of color. Not that I do vibrant rainbow bright layouts, but I definitely am on the darker, grungier side of the layout, right? The dingier side, I should say. So here's where I found out that, yeah, my title can't live there. I really do like this this partially trimmed off tag right here over on the right side of my photo. I like how that cluster is looking at the moment, and so I'm going to move my title up and put it right on top, like it's resting on top of our photo mat. The reason I was trying to put the tag up at the top is because I was trying to create that barrier between the two papers being the same, but after a while it didn't matter anymore. I really do like that the title fits there perfectly, like it was meant to be, and I was really liking how all of the other clusters just meshed together. I did add a third airplane because I felt like 2 airplanes just wasn't enough, so I did add a third little black airplane over there on the left. And I love how this layout turned out. It was another quick and simple layout. I love the fact that all of my scraps were just meant to be. And I had fun. I had a blast using up all of, not all, but most of the things that I picked out. And I do tend to take a lot of airplane photos, even though it might be the same flight, because I have a lot of airplane embellishments and I need to use them up. All right, you guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Don't forget to go and check out Janet Fritz's channel and Sandy Reverski's channel, because they are my my cohorts in stitches and stencils, as well as I have the link for the playlist for Follow a Sketch February, which is also Sandy's hop that she does every February. All right. Again, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I really, truly appreciate it. And I will check you guys all later. Bye.